On some days during a spiritual awakening, apart from the obvious reasons that we might feel a little off, a little down, there are some reasons that are not so obvious perhaps, but are actually very, very practical reasons why we may feel a little bit off on that particular day. One reason is screen time. So it's not what you're engaging with, but it's not what you're not engaging with. So if you're scrolling down and not engaging with certain content, that content will still impact on you because we are extra sensory. It'll still have an effect, which is why we minimize this. And any time that is spent on the screen, you have an equivalent or more than in time spent on offline, meaning around and being present and engaged in your life. The second reason why we may be feeling off is if there's been no movement, not enough movement. Now, during a spiritual awakening process, our chakras are going through a lot of work. There's a lot of work that's happening in our energetic body, and all of that requires hydration and movement. So when there has been no movement, physical movement, so if you're sitting a lot or if you are doing nothing, right, but there's been no movement at all, you're going to be feeling this more. But this is with the exception of when we are going through the exhaustion phase. That's another story, but this is specifically if we're just having one of those off days during a spiritual awakening. And the third reason is if you have spent a lot of your energy today engaging in things that you'd rather not do. It could be life admin, it could be talking to officials, or things that just have to be done, admin, right? So when there's a lot of that and where you've had to maintain a facade, right? Because sometimes whilst you may be trying to come into your authentic self and you're authentic and you're there, when we're in between being fluid and we're still a little bit of that old personality, when you are faced with situations, right, your stress response might go up. So there are some situations where you're sort of maintaining social graces, social etiquette, and sometimes it can be draining, right? Just draining to say the right thing, draining to make sure that whatever is happening is within that particular framework. So for somebody going through an awakening, to be contained sometimes can feel really jarring. That can also make you feel a little bit off. Then the fourth thing that can make you feel a little bit off, remember your pain body has come right at the top and you're healing your pain body. Now, as the pain body is going through its healing, right, you're more vulnerable. So things that would have felt a little bit, really touched you, maybe your self-esteem, maybe your confidence, maybe something trauma related, although you've been working on this and things are getting better for you, you won't be consciously aware of it, but something might happen in your conscious world and suddenly you'll feel like a drop, like a bit of a hollow, like, oh, okay, what was it? And when that happens, retrace and see what happened. What were you exposing yourself to? Think about your thoughts as well, because our thoughts, as we know, can literally transport you and create whatever you are thinking about a reality right now because of the emotion that evokes. They both go hand in hand. So that emotion brings to life a past that's a past. So it might be a fleeting thought you've had. It might be something you've thought about or something that you've dreamt about that is sitting somewhere, right? We are so extrasensory that all these little things really build on us the whole day. Imagine you are like an infant at this point where you're a sponge. You're just picking up of everything. Have you ever experienced a toddler beginning to speak, or a 4-year-old, when they're developing their speech? they just pick up everything. They won't know what it is, but they just pick it up. They are a sponge. Now, as we're letting go, we are also attracting things. We are also pulling things. We're a sponge. In this stage, you can learn anything and you'll really grasp it very quick. If you can think of other reasons why you might be feeling off during your spiritual awakening, please drop me a comment. All my love, take care and look after yourself. Stay hydrated, keep walking, keep the motion in your awakening, and take care.